Hello, my name is Rob Steiner. I'm the founder of Studio Roboto and Gallery 10 West here in White Plains at the Switch 210 building. My background includes the military, corporate, and startup. Most notable, I was the chief product officer at MakerBot Industries back in the glory days of 3D printing, 2012 timeframe. So I'm a veteran-owned small business. I specialize in artist fabrication services. So if you're an artist, perform work for you, 3D scanning, digital design, 3D printing, laser cutting, hand assembly, model making, all the things that if you're an artist and you don't have the capabilities or the shop space, that's what I provide here. I saw my first 3D print in 1996 when I worked at Honda, and some guy brought in a little tiny 3D print, and I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And at the time I was going to grad school at night, and my MBA was in technology management, so I focused on 3D printing. And I used, I got from the National Archives an old World War II Navy dive helmet. I 3D scanned it, and then I 3D printed it, and it's right here. This is my first model from, that's it, from way back when, 1998, I think I had finished this one. So that's how I got started in 3D printing. I went full-time with my own business in 2016, and I used to be in the city in Brooklyn at the Navy Yard, and then when COVID hit in 2020, business went, just disappeared. So my wife and I moved up here to White Plains, and I found this building. I said, okay, I'm going to start over from scratch up here, and how can I rebuild it, learning from the lessons I did when I was in the city. The number one challenge of a small business is getting your name out, marketing, awareness of your capabilities. I've had some success there, mostly by word of mouth. So previous clients or new clients do good work for them, and they tell other people. Most of my clients are artists, and artists who need the services that I provide because they either don't have the time or the actual physical space to make these things. That's number one. Number two is going to be an engineer or product developer, somebody who wants to make a prototype. I've worked with pharmaceutical firms, architects, woodworkers, furniture restoration, you name it, kind of all over the board as far as people who need something, need one of something. So where do you go when you need one of something? I'm your guy. I've been in the Switch 210 building now over 3 years. I was one of the early tenants during COVID, and I was up on the third floor, and I had a great space up on the third floor, but I basically started to outgrow it with the need for, I had larger projects, I needed bigger space, I had some more printers that I was going to buy, and I started to think about what my options were. And when I talked to the developer, the building owners, they were really helpful in the planning of what might come next. And so that was Gallery 10 West, which is the adjoining space behind me. So now my fabrication studio, Studio Roboto, supports Gallery 10 West. And what's in Gallery 10 West, for the most part, are works of my clients who are artists or designers, and that's been the progression. One of the challenges I found with artists is I would make them their piece, and they would go off, and in some cases it would sell right away, or they already had it sold. If it didn't, they had a challenge of where do they put it. And I was like, okay, I have a gallery space, we can display it in here. And it's a portfolio of some of the work that I've done for other artists, but it's also the artist's work, and that's the most important. So I feel I have a very good network of emerging artists here in Westchester and also from the city. At the time I left the city, I was looking for a new studio space up in Westchester. I found there's a Dobbs Ferry location, and I looked at that, but it was full. And the manager at the time there said, hey, we've got a new building up in White Plains, why don't you check that out? I came up, fell in love right away. I was up on the third floor for about 3 years, and I've now just moved down to the newly renovated and built out first floor. So a lot of the traffic that comes into the building walks right past my space, which is great. I have an open door policy, so people walk in and I get to meet clients that come into the building. I've been a perpetual shop renter for many years, so I can say that this building very supportive as far as no issues, as far as the maintenance, cleanliness, just the responsive, anything that comes up, which is almost nil, is just dealt with. But primarily what I do truthfully tell people, this is like a village. It's full of small businesses. So I believe in your life you should surround yourself with people who are on the same mission as you. So I'm a small business. I'm trying to learn and grow and solve problems, and so are the other businesses and the business owners in this building, and it's a very supportive community. And I can't speak more highly of that. That's probably the biggest value of being in this building. So you can find more information about us on the fabrication and this space, which is studioroboto.com. It's also on Instagram at Studio Roboto. If you're in the neighborhood, you're going to come to the Switch 210 building. You can look for Gallery 10 West, and we're on Instagram at Gallery 10 West.